Hi there. I just wanted to update anybody who was looking at these videos in case you're looking at getting a microdiscectomy. I just had one 24 hours ago, and I can't tell you how amazing I feel. I mean, of course, I'm in pain, but it's amazing. I had major back surgery, and I'm pretty much up and about, very slowly, of course, but I really expected to feel a lot worse than I do. So just as a little bit of a backstory, I have had sciatica for about 20 years, honestly. It started when I was like 19, 20, and I'm 39 now. I've had two really bad bouts of it where once when I was in my early 30s, I couldn't walk right for almost a year. And I had many surgeons tell me that I should get surgery, but I was very much against it at the time. I thought I could heal myself, which I pretty much did. I went back to normal. I always had little tinges here and there. I had like weird feelings like in my ankles where I knew that it was really my back, the disc that was really causing the weird pain. And I would have, mornings where I woke up and I had sciatica, but it would go away in like a week or two. I would stretch, I would do, exercises, whatever, and it would pretty much go away. But this time, about a month and a half ago, I don't even know what I did. I just woke up and it hurt tremendously. And I was going about my business, taking care of it and trying to stretch. And every day I woke up and it was worse. It was to the point where I was in the hospital for 4 days because the pain was so severe, as I'm sure all of you know. If you're watching this, you know how bad the pain is. And so I saw a surgeon that was recommended to me from a coworker at NYU, and he was fabulous. And he said he looked at my MRI and said that my lumbar L5-S1 is probably way past the point where most people would have had surgery. The herniation was pretty bad. So of course I opted for surgery. I couldn't live like this anymore. And I had to wait 3 weeks for surgery. And in that 3 week time, I had one epidural, one steroid epidural injection before I saw him. And then I got another one just to get me through because I was completely immobile. I could only lay on my left side. My sciatic was on my right leg, and I could only lay on my left side. My left side hurt so bad from laying on it for over a month. It's like so sore. But that was the only position I could be in. Hold on, I'm sorry. I have to cough, but it hurts to cough. I had the surgery yesterday, and when I went into the hospital, even in the morning, first of all, let me back up. Past couple days before my surgery, I was taking 2 Percocets every 4 hours because I was in that much pain, and I still was pretty immobile, even with the painkillers. I was in so much sciatic pain, it was unbearable. Then I went to the hospital yesterday morning. I had my surgery at 7:30. I had to be there at 5:30 in the morning. And I was like crying all morning because I was in so much pain. And they gave me, the people had to help me into my gown and help me, put my clothes on, put the surgery, whatever. I had to put stockings on and all this kind of weird stuff. So they had to help me do that because I couldn't. So I also couldn't sit in the chair and wait for my surgery. They had to get me a gurney, so of course I could lay on my left side. So I had my surgery. I don't really remember much. I was very nervous because this was the first surgery I ever had, so I was nervous about the intubation and everything. I was completely nervous, as I'm sure most people are. But I just remember being wheeled into the operating room. I was on my side on the gurney, and they said, "You have to lay on your back." And I said, "I can't lay on my back. It's going to hurt so bad, my sciatic." And they're like, "We have to." And they said, "Well, we'll give you something right away." And I said, "Okay." So I laid on my back, and it hurt. They put an IV in my hand. I don't really even have a scar. See? Can't even see that. They put an IV in my hand, and then they put these things on my head. I don't know if you could see. I have like all these little scars on my head. They put this like band over my forehead, and then they pressed it in. It was like all these little prongs, and I was like, "Ow, what is that?" And the anesthesiologist said, it's to measure your brain waves when you're under anesthesia, which I've never heard of before. So just be prepared for that. I mean, it didn't really hurt that bad. It looks a lot worse than it was, but I didn't know that they do that. It's really interesting, actually. So I have a little bit of a scar, but they gave me cream for it. It'll go, not scar, a little scab, but it'll go away. And then he said, okay, he goes, we're just going to give you a little painkiller, and we're going to give you just something to put you like into La La Land a little bit. And I'm like, okay, great. And I'm just staring at the ceiling, and I'm thinking, okay, I don't feel anything. And then all of a sudden I felt a little woozy. I said, oh, I feel a little woozy. And that's all I remember. Like, that's it. And I remember waking up in the post-op on my back. And I was really out of it. I was rubbing my eyes, and they kept saying, don't rub your eyes, don't rub your eyes. I don't know why. And then the doctor came by, and he said, your herniation was really a lot worse than we thought it was. And he said, I don't really remember what he said, because he talked to me right when I was coming out, and I don't really remember, but my boyfriend was there, and he told me something about how the herniation or something was hard to get to. So he's like, I was really fishing in there, so you might be in a lot more pain than usual. But I was like, okay, I don't really remember. I don't really remember what he said, something along those lines. But he said it was bad. But he said the surgery went really well, and he'll see me in 2 weeks. So came home, sat in like an hour and a half of New York traffic, which was insane after surgery. So that was hurting a little bit, sitting in the traffic. Came home and rested most of the day. I was up and about a little bit, but I was really groggy. And today I've been like switching from laying down. I could lay on either side. I could lay on my back. It hurts a little bit. Well, it hurts a lot to like move around. I'm pretty much, upright all the time until I lay down. And to lay down, you have to kind of like sit down on the bed and then go to your side and put your legs up at the same time and then roll back. But I'm doing it, and I'm doing it without help. So that's great. I was watching a lot of these videos, and everybody's different. So you can't really go by what I say or anybody, because everyone's different. Some people were saying they needed help, like doing everything. I just gave myself a little sponge bath and actually dressed myself. Oh, but I didn't do my socks, but I even put, my underwear and pants on by myself. I had to sit and do it and kind of just like lift my leg a little. And I did it very slowly, but I was able to do it, and that's huge. Oh, and one very important thing that I failed to mention at this point is that my leg pain is completely gone. Completely gone. I am able to stand and walk better probably than I was able to prior to the surgery. Right now, I don't have any nerve pain. I know that it's early and it could come back, because I've heard that, I've read that. But so far, my symptoms that led me to the surgery are gone. I don't have them. The only pain that I have right now is a lot of stiffness in my back. Stiff and achy. So I can tell when the 4 hours is up, when I need my painkiller, because I get even more stiff and achy. But I'm doing great, and I just wanted to tell anybody that if you're looking at this surgery, of course everybody's different. Everybody's healing time is different. But I just wanted to give you another a positive outlook, because a lot of times you look into these surgeries and you look at people's outcomes, and the only people who usually talk about it are people who have had bad experiences. So I wanted to tell you that so far, the next day, I'm doing great, and I feel really good, considering that I just had major back surgery, a little over 24 hours ago. So that's it.